What's going on? It's your boy Bowie here. Back at it with another video regarding Subzero. This is actually the second draft of this video. And in this video, I'm going to do one of the things that I think I do quite well, and that is make an analysis of trends in Mortal Kombat 1. Particularly trends having to do with my favorite character, Subzero. And the topic of today is why Subzero players are perpetually crying about Subzero. So let me start with this up front. Subzero is a good character now. He started off as a decent character who was carried by his cameo. He needed his cameo just for basic functionality. He doesn't have that problem now. Thanks to the addition of Polar Palm, Subzero now can combo independently of any cameo or any meter. And he can do so off of any hit confirm. I'm thinking I'm going to drop this. Yeah, I fucked that up. But yeah, so he can combo without requiring a cameo. And this has so many important benefits. The main benefit of which being that Subzero is now free to use his cameo for non-essential combos. He's also free to use his cameo for setups and huge damage, just like the rest of the cast. See, before, because he needed a cameo just to get a combo, that's all he was able to do. Use the cameo to combo and then, you know, hopefully get people to get frozen by the ice clone or other tactics and things of that nature. I once described it as, you know, his best cameos make Subzero a whole character, whereas everyone else is using a team. You know what I'm saying? It's a team of two. With his old cameos like Serena or, you know, more effectively Chameleon, Subzero became a whole character, but only with the help of his cameo. That is no longer the case now. Subzero still isn't perfect. He still has, you know, weaknesses. But this is a character that more or less has some kind of answer for just about every situation. And honestly, there's no reason at this particular point for Subzero players to be asking for more buffs of any kind. If Subzero remained this way for the rest of the game's life, I'd be pretty happy. Unless we discover some, you know, some new thing, some new weakness that he has, or the meta shifts drastically in a way that does not favor Subzero, Subzero's in a very good spot now. And I think that as time goes on, that's going to become more apparent to everybody, you know? And yet, that is not the premier narrative that's going around concerning this character. The premier narrative is Subzero's Polar Palm is underwhelming. Subzero's Polar Palm doesn't do much for him. Subzero's Polar Palm doesn't fix Subzero's problems, even though it actually really does. Yo, I'm getting distracted by this video. But listen, you don't have to believe me when I say this. Let me show you some of the narrative that I've been seeing. Oops. The hell? Sorry. Sorry about that. So this is a YouTube short that I encountered from One Step. I'm not even sure who One Step is. but he was talking about Polar Palm here. And I was just curious as to what some of the comments would be. And you can see, love the new move, even if it's only useful sometimes. Some moves are way more useful than others. Let's see. We have some people saying poor Subzero doesn't have enough ice moves, blah, blah, blah. Someone said he has more potent, he needs more potent abilities. He's good, but he needs a slight push to be great. Then this was the series of comments that really made me scratch my head. This right here, another buff that shows that they don't understand the problem with sub. Newest move is a joke. This didn't age well. He keeps getting buffs that don't fix the problem. And people haven't seen, but they nerfed him. They nerfed his standing 4 from +6 to +3 and standing 2 to 0. What? Standing 4 from +6 to +3. Are you talking on block or on hit? And we got to double check that. Anyway. Look, so this is what somebody says. Bruh, sub mains could get 100% damage and eternal happiness and they'd still complain. So this is probably the crux of it. Not whining, just pointing out they've buffed everything other than what we've asked for. Sub needed 2 changes to make him decent. And not OP, a meterless launcher for 30% and an ice ball that didn't take a full second to throw. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the thing. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, but freezing twice did nothing till this new move. What? Oh, Lord, fuck. Anyway, it's so crazy because you have people that really think that this character is bad because he hasn't been buffed in exactly the way that they wanted. Pretty much, this person's not isolated in his thoughts. Like, this is what many Subzero players are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, the new move is trash. I'll do a 30. Oh my Lord, hell. This does not age well. Ugh. Anyway. So, you know, some people want to reinforce layers to his pressure / mix. He doesn't have pressure. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild. It's so wild what people are saying. So obviously this is one comment section, but it's a microcosm of what I've been seeing. Like, you have Subzero players that are basically upset at this move here. And they're upset at it not because of its actual utility. They're upset at it because they expected something else. They expected to get 30% damage. They expected, they expected the ice ball to just be what it has been. And look, I asked for that. I campaigned for that. But I'm going to show later in this video why, a potential reason why NRS did not provide us this ice ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show a potential reason why. Obviously, I don't have any connections to NRS as of right now, so I have no idea why. But I'm speculating that this could potentially be one of the reasons why we haven't gotten this ice ball yet. You know what I'm saying? But basically, Subzero mains have the idea that he should get a faster back two, faster overhead, I mean, and a faster ice ball. And if he gets those things, he'll be fixed. Let's demonstrate why those are a bad idea. So here we are in the lab. So if you're a Subzero player, you know that his overhead is 24 frames. Subzero players, for the most part, not for the most part, many of them have been asking for this to be faster. I've even seen some people suggest that this should be safe on block, which is absolutely insane. So, one of the problems with making this faster is if this overhead is made faster, now suddenly Subzero doesn't become about hit confirming things or being methodical or anything like that, making sure to hit confirm the polar palm, hit confirm into polar palm. If this becomes faster, players are just gonna do this shit. This is what they'll do. They'll jump in and do this shit. That's what they'll do, because they think that they have to go to their opponent and open them up with Subzero, the same way that they would do like with a character like Johnny Cage. That's what they want to do. People want to do that, right? And really they want to do this because they're hoping that polar palm would have frozen them naturally, or really they would have been able, they wanted to be able to do this, you know, low into ice ball and get their combo and do that, right? The reason why this is bad is because now Subzero would stop being methodical, stop being, you know, a defensive, trap-oriented character that he is, that plays from this range. See, Subzero's only supposed to be here. This close. This is where you play Subzero at from your opponent, because you're in perfect range of back two, back three, stand two, even the mid, plus down one, down three, and down four. Down four kind of whiffs. Notice you ain't supposed to be this close. If you're playing this close with Subzero, you're too fucking close, because this is all you have from right here. Everything else is too slow. You need to be here. And really, you kind of want to be here because you want the opponent to think, oh, I'm going to get his ass. That way you can do this. That's 7 frames. 9 frames, I'm sorry. And the air one is 4 frames. You see what I'm saying? A good chunk of Subzero players don't even understand that about this character in this game because of reasons I'll get into in a moment. Reasons that actually don't have anything to do with the players. But because players have been accustomed to Subzero mixing people for free in the past 2 games, it's no wonder that they want him to do it again in this game. They want this to be faster so that players are not going to be able to react to it, because they think that they have to go to the opponent and open them up. And I've seen this narrative all over. Subzero struggles to open people up. He struggles to open people up. You can't open nobody up with Subzero. Why the fuck are you opening up anyone with this character in this game? You don't need to go do a damn thing and open nobody up. Your whole kit is defensive and reactive. On a read, you get a combo from slide with a whole bunch of different cameos. You have a dive kick. This is not used offensively. You don't use this for offense. It's slow. You use this on the read that the opponent's going to get froggy and try to hit you. Or they throw out a projectile. It's like, oh, you going to throw a projectile? Oh, it's combo city now. You see what I'm saying? Even this is done on a read. This is bad. This ice ball is terrible. No lie. It's the slowest and most useless ice ball we've ever had. But it exists as a part of his neutral game. Because Sub-Zero is all about controlling the neutral. He's about using this to bully people. Using this and using this to make people approach him. And then when they approach, that's when he's got this ready for him. That's when he has this ready for him. That's when he has this ready for him. And yes, even you can even sneak in overheads and shit like that if they jump in and they whiff the attack. But by no means should you be going to the opponent trying to open them up like you're Johnny Cage or something. No. That's why NRS didn't give us a cancel on this. That's why they didn't give us plus frames off of this, because he's not used as a pressure character. This character is defensive. This character is methodical. This character is reactive. He does this to provoke a reaction. He does this to provoke a reaction. Once you react, then he has this. Then he has this. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he goes and kills you. Now, obviously in a game like this, that's not enough to put you at top 5. But the overwhelming majority of us are not playing the best people in the game. We're just playing on Combat League. You don't need a perfect character. You don't need a character with no weaknesses to go and win against the average person online, or even to go and reach Elder God. People have been reaching Elder God with Sub-Zero since the game's been out. And now it's even easier for them to do so because now he has access to giga damage. Just like the rest of the cast. He's no longer tethered to using this just to get a combo. You see what I'm saying? I bet you some of you didn't even know that NRS buffed this. Hold on. I keep fucking that up. This is more consistent now. I just dropped it multiple times because I really don't even go for forward 1 all the time off of this. In the patch, in the latest patch, I'm talking about not the T1000 patch. I'm talking about the little hot fix that they did. You know, the one that Giga buffed Reptile and nerfed T1000. There was a stealth buff to Sub-Zero. After Polar Palm, if you do forward 1-2 Polar Palm, forward 1-2 Ice Clone is way more consistent now. Of course, you have to be at the top of your game. But it's no longer miraculous if it doesn't come out, and you can always tell. Like, there I did it kind of low. This will connect. That's going to connect. See? Before, that would have dropped half the time. This is going to fall. See? Now, it's still tighter than I would have wanted, but it's way more consistent than it was when the Polar Palm came out. So Sub-Zero actually does have access to meterless stuff. Now, let me add a caveat. This is only off of forward 1-2. If you do it from here, it's going to drop still because you're too far away. Same thing off of 1-2. Maybe if I dash up, let's see what happens if I dash up. You know? But I think that's probably the reason why people were underwhelmed with this move, because they wanted this forward 1-2 clone. They wanted this to be universally consistent from everything. They wanted that to work, just period. Just like it appeared to work in the combat cast. And because they didn't see that, particularly when Sub-Zero would do this, you know, when Sub-Zero would do 2-1 Polar Palm, because this doesn't work, this is why people are upset. You know what I'm saying? That's the main reason that they're upset about Polar Palm. But the reality of the matter is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this right here. It's not the most damage in the world, but if you hit this 5 times, they're dead. Not that you need to. And you've also pushed them closer to the corner. And if you have certain cameos like Janet, for instance, one combo carries them directly to the corner and puts a clone in front of their face. Right? But I say all of this because though I would have loved for NRS to buff this ice ball, I'm actually happy that they didn't. I know. It sounds really bad. But let me show you why. So imagine Subzero does a string and connects it into ice ball. Watch what happens. Watch how much damage Subzero gets off a raw ice ball. And this is tight, so I have to be very careful. God damn it. Sorry. God damn it. From a raw ice ball, he's getting 441 damage with Janet. And now the cameo's already halfway back. So that means that if Subzero would have been able to do forward 1-2 ice ball, his damage would probably be what it currently is with this, which is roughly 49%. See that? I'm just going to call it half-life because on characters that have 950 health or below, this is literally half of their health bar. So Subzero would be doing half-life combos meterlessly with Janet if this were a thing. See, when I advocated for the faster ice ball to connect from strings, I was not aware of the damage that he could get from Janet Cage. So I would have took this character and gave him a dummy buff without really realizing it, just like the people that are asking for this to be faster would inadvertently do. Because if you make this overhead faster, what you've just done is you've basically given Subzero the Pharah treatment, or the Natara treatment, or the Havoc treatment. Those characters became dumb because they received moves that open people up for little effort. Natara doesn't even have to know what the hell you're going to do. She can just dive kick from anywhere on screen and do a half-life combo. And she can do so safely because she can EX the dive kick. She doesn't have to know what the hell you're going to do. She's not making any smart reads. She's not even taking a risk if it's an EX dive kick. She can just do it. And if you whiff anything, you're dead. Right? Obviously, the Pharah cameo, you don't even have to... you can just be using this character right here, Scorpion, back 3 Pharah, and the opponent has to guess online what you're going to do. Now, if they're prepared for it, they can get through it. But if they're not prepared for it, they're going to get schmixed. And they'll barely be able to punish it. Those are examples of dummy buffs. Those are buffs that are bad for the health of the game because they allowed unskilled players to beat people by forcing them to guess without having to earn their way in neutral, without having to outplay them. They can just make them open up a can. And if they're wrong, they die. We don't need Subzero to be that kind of character because he's already been that kind of character twice now. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just show you what I mean when I say this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, this footage is old as hell. Lord have mercy. So let's just watch some of the first opening sequences of this match right here. So many of you claim, or many people have claimed that this game was peak Mortal Kombat, but let's actually analyze what's going on here. So I ran up, I slid, didn't know what he was going to do. Okay. Look, dude ran right across the screen, jumping in, not playing no neutral. Look, poking, dive kicking. Look at what's happening in this game right now. Like, it's just non-stop action. Put up clone, throw it. This is just non-stop offense. You know what I'm saying? Throwing stuff. Nobody knows what's going to hit. I'm just throwing out overheads, just running up, sliding people. Look at that. Look at that. I just jumped in right here. I didn't know what was going to happen. Just open up. So 50-50. He's playing unsafe. I'm playing unsafe. Just doing dumb shit. And getting rewarded for it. Uh-oh. He's in the corner now. Am I going to be able to do my corner things? Let's see. Okay. Oh. Oh, yes. 50-50 business. Oh, but he got out, though, because he has a dive kick. Ooh, but look, I'm about to push him to the corner. Oh, shit. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Ooh, I ain't even had to do nothing. I'm pushing him to the corner. I got the hit confirmed. Didn't even confirm it in the ice ball. Okay. Look at that. Just straight up 50-50s. That's all I did. Low, right in the overhead. But this gameplay is very basic and asinine. You know what I mean? But that's all you needed to win in this game. That's all you needed. You could just learn your combo, make sure it began with a 50-50, and as long as it did, you could just win. You know what I'm saying? Let me show some more shit. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, whoops. So this is an old ass video of mine. New Year's Eve on my channel. I got a bunch of Mortal Kombat videos on my channel. So if you guys want to go back and watch this old shit, you can. So I'm over here using RoboCop. And I'm using RoboCop versus Subzero because I know that he wants to go in and try to mix. Look, mix, more mix. Oh, boy, did down force slide. Jesus Christ. Look, not even trying to play neutral. He's just trying to throw stuff. No neutral, no neutral. I used RoboCop in this match because RoboCop's one of the few characters that could make Sub-Zero stop his approach. Okay. More 50-50s. Look, just sliding. Don't even know what I'm going to do. Don't even know. I'm not playing very well, but look, he's just going up for the damn 50-50s just cuz. He just lost. Mr. Sikanderson. He thought he was eating with that name, didn't he? Okay. Okay. That's technically not even safe, but okay. So this game is better in terms of making people play neutral. It's not something I could say about MKX, as you saw. Because you could just run up and just be in people's face. Ooh, I could have popped him right there. I fucked up right there. Down for slide! See, look. Oh shit, I said it. I said that in the video. But look at that. No walking, no playing of neutral, no nothing. He's just trying his very best to get in wherever he can fit in. All right, he thinks he's got me cornered. Oh, not even thinking. Bop. Watch out. Pop your dumb ass. I'm just zoning him. I'm controlling the screen. You know what I mean? But I want you to peep what's going on. Players want Sub-Zero back like he was in these two games. So this is on my channel as well. I called this the Athens games. Because this is me playing against Wallace, where he lives and shit. I dropped that. I can't believe I dropped that shit. Oh, Lord. So there's a reason why I showed Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 Subzero in action before going to MK9. See, in this game, Mortal Kombat 9, Subzero wasn't about, using mindless 50-50s. He was about screen control, picking his spots, being methodical, using clone smartly, using normals, planting the ice ball down when he needed it. Now, his ice ball was definitely better in this game. Ice Clone was definitely better as well. Notice how quickly he could just use it. Oh, I just did the risky shit for no reason. I ain't have to do that. Look at that movement. Look at the movement. Look what the fuck just happened. So look, I had him in the corner. Just smart shit. Just playing intelligently. Oh, wow. Look, I'm just gonna walk. I ain't gotta do nothing. Look at that. I can bait him to do something now. Okay. I think he dropped this. Yeah, he did a little bit. I'm jumping for no reason, but notice I just planted a clone right in front of his face. But that's the crux of what Subzero did. Like, he played, he played very methodical. He didn't rush. He didn't do too much. You know what I'm saying? He just used his movement. He definitely used his ice ball and ice clone more than he does in MK1. But this is a character that was more normal focused rather than, oh, I'm going to try to open your ass up. Now, in this game, he did have an overhead. Forward 4 was an overhead for him, but you couldn't hit confirm it, for one. It was also unsafe, so if you just threw out forward 4 ice ball, you just died. Ah, look at the read. Look at the read. So I put out the clone, waited for the opponent to do something. Oh, wow. And then I EX slid them right into it. So now he's going to be in the clone, or be in the corner. And now Sub-Zero's just trying to bully. Keep the opponent in the corner. Oh, look at that. Trapping. Trapping. That's what this character was about. Not trying to fucking schmix people to death. Just outplaying people. Abusing down 4 because it was good as hell. And because I, often did jump into clone, I can cancel anything in the clone at any point. It's not even safe to anti-air me because I could just turn into a clone at any point. Ah, look. Oh, he ain't punished me like he should have, though. Look, just walking. Not even doing nothing. Clone cancel. I'm not even barely doing anything. Oh, good armor right there. Good armor right there. Ooh, clone. Ooh, try to throw him into it. Ooh, I think he got me. I think he got me. Please tell me he didn't drop this. No, he did. Oh, okay, he got me. He got me. He got me. Yeah, but I want you to notice how more methodical this character is compared to what you just saw. Notice how I'm walking. Sometimes I'll dash block. But the whole goal of this character is to try to make the opponent jump into a clone that they wasn't supposed to jump into. Well, ain't never supposed to jump into the clone. But the idea is to bait them into thinking it's a good idea to attack and then punish them for doing so, you see? And MK1 is not perfect, or MK1 Sub-Zero is not perfect at this, but he's much more like this Sub-Zero than he is MK11 or MKX Sub-Zero. Well, as a matter of fact, he has a mix of all three of them. He has aspects from all the Sub-Zeros. What the fuck? That was such a glitch. What the fuckity fuck? Wow. I think he got me here. Yeah. That was crazy. That was actually bananas. What the fuck? But anyway, so the reason why Sub-Zero players complain about this character is because NRS has given us 4 different versions of Sub-Zero, or 3 previous versions of Sub-Zero. The first one was methodical screen control with ice clone and a fast ice ball. Fast and effective ice clone, fast and effective ice ball. Pretty fair character, but if you couldn't get around clone, you got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But then the next 2 games turned him into a 50-50 machine. So in other words, NRS did not maintain legacy for this character in terms of gameplay. And now because of this, people have been conditioned to do that all the time. They think that that's how they win every fucking match. Is just overhead, low, overhead, overhead. Let me open the opponent up. Look at that. Notice I jumped up, or I ran up onto the boy to make him do something. Where was it? Oh. So I dropped the damn combo. I was pissed off about that. So I'm going to dash up. Try to do something. See that? I did that to bait the jump. Now, because he was Scorpion, he could teleport. But best believe, with any other character, he'd have got frozen by that clone. You know what I'm saying? But this character is not designed to, oh, I'm going to go over and open the opponent up like a goddamn can of tuna fish or some shit like that. Nah. This character is much more methodical, much more deliberate. Now, he does have offense, but his offense primarily happens when a clone is out. You know what I'm saying? And so, otherwise, you should be playing defensively. You should be trying to bait the opponent to do something dumb, just like I did right there. Look at that. I used this to try to get him to stop running away. What do you know? It worked. You see what I'm saying? So, this is why it's so important for fighting game franchises to maintain legacy with their characters and the gameplay styles, because what happens is longtime players of a character remember previous iterations of their main. And when you get people used to a particular thing, it's very difficult to pull it away and be like, nah, you can't do that no more. You know what I mean? Like, you should really use the overhead and low as sparingly as you see me doing here. And just as I said that, I used a goddamn low. But I use it, but I want you to peep how I used it, though. So look, I'm going to get him to jump. I'm walking. Did I go back too far? I think I did. I did go back too far. Anyway, so I'm trying to highlight the part I'm talking about because I really had my boy step in some shit there. Okay, I think I'm going to get him to break at some point. Let's see. So he whiffed. Yeah, he's going to break this. Okay. So then watch. I'm walking up. Boom. Trip guard. That was a trip guard, sir. That was a trip guard right here. Watch. Blah! That's what the low and overhead are used for. Trip guarding the opponents. Now it's giga damage. You see what I'm saying? Like, This character is methodical. And Polar Palm helps him be methodical without giving him too much. Because as you saw, off a regular ice ball, he would get 44% meterless. Just with raw ice ball. If he would have been able to do forward 1-2 into ice ball, this character would be getting 48, 49% meterless, which would then make NRS either put some extreme scaling on ice ball, which would affect his other variations, or they would have to nerf Janet Cage, the cameo, which then affects every other character in the game that uses Janet. That's not the right way. And so NRS did what NRS does best. They come up with creative ways to solve problems. Now, sometimes they're too creative and they try to reinvent the goddamn wheel, such as with, you know, creating entirely new gameplay metas from, you know, consecutive Mortal Kombat games. That's not what they need to do. And honestly, I hope that with this incoming Mortal Kombat 13 that they stop doing that, but I'm probably hoping against hope, to be honest. But the best, you know, compromise was for NRS to, you know, give Subzero a move that accomplished the same goal as Ice Ball without steroid buffing that projectile. Because if Sub-Zero is going to be hitting major massive damage, he should be spending a bar to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no character in the game that's hitting people with 49% damage combos meterlessly, unless they're using the entire cameo or they have some sort of buff going or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that's hitting that kind of half-life damage is doing so with at least one bar, if not several. You know what I mean? And so Sub-Zero can do it from a single bar and the entire Janet Cage cameo, which is fine because Janet recharges faster than shit. Like right now, if I hit him with this Janet combo or any Janet combo, dude's dead. Oh, he got me on that one, though. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. But I'll just say this, you guys. Some of this is on Sub-Zero players. All of this is not on NRS. Some of us are just not grateful for things that we get. And because we didn't get exactly what we wanted when we wanted it, we think it's bad. Let me get close to the end of the video, or close this video out with a story. True fucking story. So, in the Christmas of 2000, your boy begged his mama for a PlayStation. I was 12 years old, going on 13. I had gotten really good grades in school. I'd done my chores. I was a good ass kid, you know what I'm saying? And so I constantly reminded my mother that I want a PlayStation. I'm talking about a PlayStation 1. Some of y'all y'all wasn't even born at that time. You know what I mean? But anyway, I had been reminding her that I want a PlayStation pretty much throughout the year. And so Christmas time comes around. I'm opening up gifts. I don't remember shit else that I got that year. Nothing. Except for when I opened up that box. And what did I see in that box? A motherfucking Nintendo 64. Now, I distinctly remember being disappointed at first. Because I'm like, shit, this is not what I wanted. I wanted a PlayStation. But I also distinctly remember making a deliberate decision. I made a deliberate decision to be like, you know what? I know this is not a PlayStation, but it's still a new video game. It's still a new video game console. I have no idea what games are on it. Let me try it before I sit here and get mad. I remember thinking that. Of course, the N64 didn't have any games. So my mom and her boyfriend, Leroy at the time, they went and got me some games. And one of those games was a little bitty game that came out in 1999 called Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers is an iconic fucking game, especially on the Nintendo 64. I was in love. I was enthralled. I played Samus. I played Donkey Kong. I played Pikachu. I played Yoshi. I eventually settled on using Donkey Kong as my main character. But I burnt hours, days, weeks, years in that game, Super Smash Brothers. And that was just the beginning. She also got me Super Mario 64, which is again another iconic ass game. She also got me Castlevania 64, which that game's iconic for a different reason altogether. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I remember having nightmares of that big skeleton dude chasing me after playing that game. But but it was all good. I had good times. I would also eventually go on to get all the Mortal Kombat games that were available for the Nintendo 64. Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Mythology, Subzero, and Mortal Kombat Trilogy N64, which is superior to the PlayStation version because of a lack of loading screens and, you know, the Subzero and the N64 versions just kind of broke. But anyway, I tell this story to impart a point onto you all. And that is, you may not always get what you want, right? But it's up to you to decide how you react to not getting what you want. You can decide to be angry and upset and resentful that you didn't get exactly what you want, when you wanted it, how you wanted it, and all that stuff. You can make that decision. Or you can make the decision to try to use what you have. Try to explore this new possibility and try to see if there's any good in it. And if there is good, there's a potential that you find that this thing is not only as good as the thing you originally wanted, you might find that it's even superior. Because I'm here to tell you, I'm very glad that my mother got me a Nintendo 64 over the PlayStation. I'm super glad. Super glad. Nothing wrong with PlayStation. But if I would have gotten a PlayStation, I would have missed out on all the fucking wrestling video games. You know, whether that's No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, WCW versus NWO, both the original and Revenge. I would have missed out on GoldenEye 007. I would have missed out on Donkey Kong 64. I would have missed out on Mario Kart 64. I just would have missed out on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like iconic games that I still play to this day on my Steam Deck. You know what I'm saying? These games completely shaped my childhood for the better. You know what I'm saying? And it all happened because I didn't get exactly what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And so, Subzero players, I understand Polar Palm is not what you wanted. I understand we wanted a faster ice ball. I did too. In the next Mortal Kombat, I do want a faster ice ball. I want him to be able to do string in the ice ball and do a combo. I want that for him. Just like what we've gotten before. But it seems pretty obvious at this point that NRS is probably not going to buff the Ice Ball. So we may as well stop asking for that. Because they could have buffed it in this patch. They gave us a whole nother move that kind of replaces Ice Ball. You know what I mean? But guess what? Subzero will survive without it. Because Polar Palm is a fantastic move. The move gives Subzero the much needed damage buff that he always needed. I kind of said that twice. I apologize. It gives him access to new cameo teams, or at least old new cameo teams. Because I think Sub Janet is actually really, really good now for him. And that team is only possible because of that new EX Polar Palm. You know what I mean? Yes, he could technically do Deadly Vapors into Ice Ball, but that shit scales damage like a motherfucker. Not to mention Ice Ball doesn't freeze as long as EX Polar Palms does. Okay? But we didn't get what we wanted, but we got exactly what we needed. And I think it's high time that us Sub-Zero players recognize that and acknowledge that. And so, with that spirit, I actually want to thank NRS. Thank you, NRS. Seriously. Thank you for, not leaving Sub-Zero to languish in mediocrity when you very well could have. Thank you for, giving us a gift we didn't even know we needed. Giving us a character that is still so good that even in his worst state, he was still playable. But not allowing him to remain there. Thank you for not acting like Bandai Namco right about now with this Tekken 2 goddamn patch, or Tekken 8 Season 2 patch, because Lord have mercy. Woo! Thank you for not acting like that. Alright? But, so thank you, NRS. And also thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's a longer one, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to talk a little bit more analytically about why Sub-Zero players have been crying about Sub-Zero, and the reasons why we can stop now. Because we can stop. Sub-Zero's great. But with that being said, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all stay froze.